So we are a quarter of the way through the 2023 college football season. Most teams have played 3 games. Some have played 4. I believe some have even played 2. But Georgia Bulldogs have played 3 games so far this year for the 2023 season. First game, UT Martin, then Ball State, and then South Carolina. Their next game and their 4th game is against UAB. That's tomorrow. I just did a preview and prediction of that video. Should be up by now. And I just wanted to come on here and give my thoughts, my opinions so far, what I've seen from the Georgia Bulldogs. I got a couple of stats here that I'm going to go through. But Georgia came out, won 42. They went, 48-7 against UT Martin. They beat Ball State 45-3, and then they beat South Carolina 24-14. And I think that Georgia, I don't know what to think, honestly, so far through the first 3 games of the season. I think defense has played lights out. They've been fantastic through 3 games, a quarter of the season, 3 games. They've given up, 24 points altogether on defense. Now, granted, 2 of those teams were against UT Martin and Ball State, but I don't care what you say. If you've only given up 24 points through 3 games, no matter who you're playing, that's pretty damn impressive. That's pretty damn impressive. So, defense, I think we look fine. I think that they had 2 bad drives against them in the first half of the South Carolina game. But after they gave up those 2 touchdowns, they played lights out. South Carolina could not do anything on offense. Our defense was smothering them, shutting them down, putting pressure on that quarterback, Spencer Rattler. Almost forgot his name for a second. He kind of is forgettable. I'm just kidding, but he kind of is. Defense, I don't really have any complaints. I like to see more sacks, more rushing the passer. But, that's just nitpicking. They look good. Offense is where I'm concerned. Offense is where I have a couple of questions. Offense is where I truly don't know what to think. All I know is that something is off. I'm not sure what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know. I don't know if it's Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's Carson Beck. I don't know if it's our offensive line. I don't know if it's the play calls. I'm not sure. This is why I don't get paid to do this. But the problem that I see, and that a lot of other people have seen, whether you're a Georgia fan or not, it's not that hard to see, is that they come out very slow. A slow start. We played UT Martin and Ball State, and it was ugly. There's no reasons why we should. Now, granted, we did end up destroying them in the end. We blew them out. But even against teams like that, we're still starting slow and sluggish on offense. And a couple people were like, okay, it's Carson Beck's first time starting. He could be a little nervous. Maybe they don't really care against these kind of teams. All that is, I think it's just talk. I think it's garbage. It is what it is. The point is what you see on the field. And what I've seen on the field so far this year is a very slow offense. And Carson Beck's not doing bad. I have his numbers here. He's so far through 3 games. He's passed for 846 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's got an 8.8% average and 74% or 8.8 yards per attempt and a 74% completion rating. They're not bad. That's not bad numbers by any means. I think his QBR is 70.6, which is 43rd. That makes him the 43rd quarterback. So they're not bad numbers, but that's just that. They're just okay numbers. They're fine. They're the middle of the pack. So he's not playing horribly, but it's also lackluster. I don't see a lot of deep balls thrown. I don't see a lot of creativity. And that first half against South Carolina was abysmal. You can say what you want to say. We had 4 drives, well, 3.5. Our 4th drive, we got the ball with like less than a minute, didn't have much time to do anything. First drive, we come out, we look great, we drive straight down the field, we look good, and then we stall out in the red zone. Kick a field goal, we get 3 points. Second drive, we don't go 3 and out, but we saw it very quickly. We end up punting on our second drive. Third drive, we get the ball back again. We drive straight down the field, get into the red zone again. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, let's score a touchdown. Let's make this 10 to 14 going into the half. Stall out in the red zone, forced to kick a field goal. Our kicker misses the field goal, which is his 3rd missed field goal of the season through 3 games. He's missed 3 field goals. I've seen enough. I don't care what you got to do. I don't know what they have to do. Have one of the fucking ladies from Georgia's soccer team come out and fucking kick the ball. I don't care. Something's got to get it figured out on that end. I don't care if it's his first time starting as a kicker. You got to make those kind of field goals. Those are easy field goals that you should make. There's no reason why you should be missing those types of field goals, especially 3 times already in 3 games. But my point is we shouldn't be settling for field goals. We shouldn't be settling for field goals against teams like UT Martin, Ball State, and South Carolina even. South Carolina is a good, respectable team, but if you want to be the number 1 team in the country and go for a three-peat, you should not be settling for a field goal against South Carolina. And I think between the end zones from opposing team's 25-yard line and our 25-yard line, I think we look good. We have been able to move the ball with some consistency. But once we get in the red zone, we stall out. There's not a lot of self-inflicted wounds. We don't have like a tremendous amount of penalties on offense. So we're not really putting ourselves behind. I mean, we've had a few, but nothing outlandish. But the thing I don't understand is that Carson Beck was made to be this, like, I mean, this is his 4th year with Georgia. He's supposed to know the offense in and out. Like it's the back of his hand. He's supposed to know everything. And I'm not saying that he doesn't know it, but he's also supposed to be a great pocket passer. Like, he's supposed to be able to deliver a ball where you want it, stand in that pocket. He's not a big athletic quarterback that's going to pick up yards with his feet, kind of like Stetson Bennett did. He's going to deliver. He's a passer. But I don't see too many of those plays being called. I see a lot of like shovel passes and screen passes and like just out to the flat, like boom, right there, 10 yards to my left. I mean, like, and that's not bad if it works, but I don't think we're using Carson Beck's strengths to the fullest. And maybe that has something to do with the slow, sluggish start, because it gets a lot harder to do that once you get into the red zone because your field is shortened. You only have so much field to work with. So I don't know. I do know that if Georgia can't figure it out on offense and come out of the gate swinging, I don't think they're going to three-peat. I don't think they'll win the national championship. I think they could easily lose a game or 2 in the regular season if the offense stays the way that it is. They have one more tune-up game before they get into conference play against UAB. Got to see them come out from the beginning, firing on all cylinders on offense, and looking like the number 1 team in the country. Because right now, I don't think they deserve it. I don't think anyone else deserves it either because all teams have kind of looked dreadful so far. But if they keep that same offense all year, I don't think they win it. It's just it's confusing. Something's off. I can't quite figure it out. So we'll see moving forward. If they can play the way they played in the second half against South Carolina, they'll be just fine. With that defense will keep them in any game. If that offense can play the way that it did in the second half against South Carolina, Georgia could three-peat. But if they play like the way they did in the first half, I mean, you go. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, this is our last tune-up game this Saturday against UAB. Hope that we can see some quick starts, some explosive plays. I want to see more explosive plays, 25 yards or more. There's no reason to just keep throwing the ball for a 4-yard gain. So it's our last tune-up game this weekend. So we'll see. Like I said, I think if our defense will keep us in pretty much any game, they're playing lights out. It's just my questions and concerns are for the offense and the sluggish start. It's not the offense altogether, because the offense does seem to get in a groove and start clicking, start moving the ball with consistency, start looking good. But we need to see that from the beginning. From the very beginning, we need to see that. And if they can do that moving forward through each and every game, they have what it takes to three-peat. But we have to see that. So I don't know if it's Carson Beck. I don't know if it's the play calls. I don't know if it's Mike Bobo. I don't know if it's offensive line. I do want to see that offensive line deliver much better run blocking. Now, they did start to pick it up and look better in that second half against South Carolina. We did get some good runs. I do understand that a lot of our running backs are injured. It's still not an excuse. Everyone has injuries. But I do need to see a lot more on that offensive line when it comes to run blocking. So that's my thoughts. That's my concerns for Georgia's football team so far through 3 games of the 2023 football season. Trying not to overreact, but also, I'm looking at the results that they're putting on the field, and right now it's not the greatest on offense from the start. So hopefully they can get it turned around. We'll see tomorrow. Game's at 7:30 instead of 7. I said 7 in my preview, but it is at 7:30. Hoping to see them come out firing right off the bat. I want to see them score a touchdown on their first drive and make it look easy. And I want them to do that every single drive. So other than that, that's all I got. Over and out.